Hello to the TUC meeting on 3rd of June. Today we have our usual agenda and one additional special topic. We want to talk about the costs we have around running our automations. Yeah, usually we are reviewing our action items, going over the PRs, and we are talking about any other business. I'm thinking about we have. Well, I was just thinking about whether we want to have recordings of the cost discussions or not. If not, maybe we can have them at the end. But I don't see Ram in the call, or Chris, to stop the recording at some point. Okay. I don't think that we have so much confidential information here. But let's start with reviewing the action items from last week. So we had an action item for RAM to update the CFP. I will just, it's not here, we will transfer that one to this week. This is also something on me. I didn't have time to do this. Transfer, okay. What was this about? Yeah, okay. We had a discussion last time. So people want to have a page on the Cloud Foundry org website about options where you can try Cloud Foundry, and this is just a tracking issue for that. So that if someone wants to just try Cloud Foundry, knows about the possible options where this can be done. Okay, this is work in progress. Okay, this is also something which we need to transfer to this week. Okay, so I've been transferring to the last meeting notes. So it's not optimal. Okay, we have now things in place. I think we should start with the cost discussions and not bother all the people with our PRs and issues and any other business. When we are finished, then we can continue. Agenda topic about our PRs and issues. So the first one here is about.
Yep, we have a new CFF or GitHub org that belongs to the CF Foundation. It's the Open Service Broker API, contains 2 repositories that we should add here just for documentation for now. But this GitHub organization has also some, let's say, special things from history that, let's say, we should talk about at least. The first thing is the 2 repositories have been handed over from the services working group to the ARI working group recently. Now the last approver moved away or got removed due to inactivity. We had an orphaned area and decided in the working group to assign these 2 repositories to the CAPI area because that's where the real implementation actually happens of this Open Service Broker API, and there are not so many other implementations out there. But that leads to the question, we have now a working group with access to different repositories in different GitHub orgs, and that violates a bit our recent RFC about multiple GitHub orgs. And the question is how to resolve it. At the moment, the automation cannot handle this, and it becomes more and more complex. So option one is we simply say the Open Service Broker API gets now its own working group, and we assign then the same people that are in sync with the ARI working group that then allows the automation to take over this handling of this Open Service Broker API. Next option is we do nothing and simply maintain the Open Service Broker API manually, no automation, and keep everything as is, because repos that are listed in a working group which do not belong to the standard organization, which is Cloud Foundry, are simply ignored and not dealt with. It's just documentation. And yeah, the last option is to change the RFC and to say we want to allow multi-org, multi-workgroup mixture, and think about a implementation. Technically, on GitHub level, we have to create multiple teams in each GitHub org, because that's how it is structured. So maybe the first option is the easiest one. But yeah, it's some bureaucratic overhead for a simple topic.
For Chris, for not us. But here, see, it's the easiest one.
We have one fourth option. We simply abandon the Open Service Broker API GitHub org and migrate the two repositories into the Cloud Foundry org. That's also an option. On the other hand, it's called Open Service Broker API, which maybe deserves its own GitHub org, and it is also an own wiki page, unmaintained, I guess, which explains that, yeah, this is the API of the world to rule them all, and it's just not yet ready that Kubernetes has implemented that natively.
Greg, what do you think about merging the repos into Cloud Foundry?
I mean, I think that's where they were originally.
Bring them home.
That's also an easy option. I don't know how the, let's say, how that looks like from outside and from documentation and from positioning of Open Service Broker API. That would be my only concern. Technically, fine.
Marcel, what do you think?
There hasn't been much movement lately in the years that it was in the services working group. There was no activity. So we already deprecated and killed the Cloud Foundry. We had a separate Cloud Foundry. No, we had a separate Slack. Now it's merged into the Cloud Foundry Slack. So I think it's just natural to also do the same with GitHub. I think when it was split up, I wasn't here when it was split up into its own GitHub repository, but it sounds like it was when there was a lot of, it was actively being defined, and a lot of different companies and contributors contributing into it. Now it feels a bit more as a maintenance mode for it, and maybe it's just fair to merge it back.
Yeah, two repos. I think I would lean towards merging. Concourse, I understand why we left it its own org.
Yeah, here the structure is also different, right? There is no intersection with other working groups, so that fits fine. So we can, of course, keep the Open Service Broker API GitHub org and just write the documentation. Repos have been moved to, and that's it. So it's an easy option.
I think there's just one page that sits outside that Chris knows how to edit that links to the repo. So probably we have to update that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, which I believe you pinged me on at some point, and it is quite out of date. So yeah, we should. I can handle any website changes. Honestly, that website is it needs some attention. But yeah, I think migrating the two repos into Cloud Foundry certainly sounds clean.
Okay, then I can document that on this issue, then we can merge it, and then I guess I would ping you, Chris, to merge or to move over the two repositories, and then I would adapt the working group definition and let the automation run and see that all the access rights are properly assigned.
Yep, I can take care of that, and then I'll deal with this. Yes, quite out of date website.
And from IP perspective, they belong to this foundation.
Yep.
Change.
Yeah, so there's no real issues there. It's all same owners.
Yeah, I think this is most practical one.
Yeah, it's the easiest solution of all, sure.
Yeah. Okay, so we can merge this one then. Or...
Do we still need this? You still want this change?
I mean, the org still belongs formally
Okay.
to Cloud Foundry, right? Even if there are no repos inside.
Sure.
We can clean it up and decide later if we want to remove it completely. I have no strong opinions here.
We can leave this, maybe we can... after the move, maybe a change will be required here, or not? No.
No.
Okay, then I've been a little bit confused. Other than this, I think he had to leave. Can watch. Okay, then there is a new PR about inactive users. So we have a new month, a new PR. Yeah, the list here is quite short now. This is good about the people with roles in the foundation. Oh, okay, we have to wait 2 weeks here, and you can create PRs for the inactive users in the working groups. This is just the auto-scale area, and it's some additional permissions for the and follow state repository. Okay, now RFCs, we don't have any RFC status. I don't think there is a change in the status. So we can issues, check, okay. Yeah, we have the issue about concourse organization CLA. Is this still?
It is still open, Chris and I.
Still open.
Go ahead, Chris.
Yep, working on it. Yeah, LF Legal's kind of gone quiet on me. I've pinged them a couple times, but we'll get this moved too.
Okay, yeah, all fine. Okay. And we have a new one about, we discussed this last time, to have a page for the Cloud Foundry providers so that people can. Yeah. Okay. This is also in progress. Okay, then we can go to any other business. we already qualified this.
Yep.
About open service broker API, then the elections.
Yeah, TOC and Paketo steering committee elections. The nomination periods are now open. There's 3 seats on the TOC, 2 seats for the Paketo steering committee. You should have seen an email in CF Dev. I've also pinged the general Slack channel here with instructions, but basically you open an issue. There's issue templates to nominate someone for those. That's open till June 12th.
Just link the link here.
That one was about CF Day. I'm not sure that's the link you wanted.
Oh, I mean, okay.
Very top.
Elections.
That one.
There it is.
Thank you. Okay. Is there anything else you want to discuss? No. Okay, then we are done for today. Thank you for attending. Take care and see you next time. Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.